Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Volume 1, Episode 4 of the all-new original NFL Talk series, Team by Team Previews. Today on the show, we are taking things up north to the Big Apple, and we'll be in a state that is jumping for joy today, has been for the past couple of days. Because the man in the middle, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the guy that's been plucked straight out of Duck Dynasty, is back under center for the New York Jets. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, guys. You can follow the show on SoundCloud and on Spreaker, NFL Talk with Caleb Seidel. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the latest YouTube channel. It's a new YouTube channel that I just put up for you guys, so don't forget to check it out. And check out episodes 1, 2, and 3. The Patriots, Dolphins, and Bills is who we previewed in the past few days on NFL Talk Team by Team Previews. Is Ryan Fitzpatrick, is his beard, I guess I should say, is Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard home to baby birds? Do birds nest in Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard? That's going to be the poll coming up tomorrow. I promise that'll be the first poll. It has to be. Is Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard home to the man who has more facial hair than the average American man has on his entire body? But right now, New York Jets fans don't care. They don't give a rip about his facial hair. They're just excited that Ryan Fitzpatrick is coming back to New York. This was the ongoing story throughout the week. As of July 27th, reports said that there were, quote, no recent talks, unquote, between the Jets and free agent Ryan Fitzpatrick. That the news was that they remained far apart and, quote, had no resolution expected soon, unquote. Later that day, the Jets signed quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick to a one-year, $12 million contract. Now, this was very important for the Jets to get done, because you're not going to win any division titles with Geno Smith at the helm. No offense. This was critical for the New York Jets if they wanted to have any shot at stealing the division from the Patriots, especially with Tom Brady suspended for the first 4 games of the season. Fitzpatrick can make another $3 million in incentives based on team performance. Speaking of team performance, you'll hear my record prediction for the Jets coming up later. I have the Jets just 2 games out of the Patriots, 2 games back. They'll be fighting in it the whole way. But every team in this division has a very difficult schedule, which is why I think it'll be difficult for any team other than the Patriots to win the division. But maybe the beard will help. No, I don't know. Jets center Nick Mangold recently said of his quarterback, he said that Ryan Fitzpatrick, his face looks like a tennis ball. He's one to talk. Mangold himself is no clean-cut individual. But I understand that. Maybe I'll have that as the poll instead. Does Ryan Fitzpatrick look like a tennis ball? Because in some ways he does. There's a striking resemblance between a tennis ball and Fitzpatrick's face. But like I said, it matters not in the grand scheme of things. All that matters is Fitzpatrick, who had a very solid year last year, almost led his team to the playoffs, is back with the Jets. I say almost, but that is key. He failed when it mattered most. I'll have to see if he can prove himself this year, because there are a lot of quarterbacks that are clamoring for that number 2 spot behind him, and eventually maybe that number 1 spot. Geno Smith Bryce Petty, did not have a good day today. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. You guys will get it Thursday. Wednesday's training camp was not a very good one for Bryce Petty, the second-year man. Which just goes to show, look, I don't think that Bryce Petty is going to have a spot on the roster when the season starts. He most definitely won't be on the roster come next season unless there are some major shifts in either performance or some huge transactions that take place. Especially with Geno Smith still hanging around and Christian Hackenberg recently signed after a pretty poor training camp up until now. I don't expect Bryce Petty to be around much longer with the Jets. But I do like Fitzpatrick this year in terms of fantasy. I think he's a high-end QB2 if you're desperate and want to go look elsewhere as players to carry your team. If you want to look elsewhere at running back, wide receiver, I think Fitzpatrick is not a bad flyer. Tennis ball man. Now, what'll be interesting to note is whether or not the Jets get an upgrade in Matt Forte over Chris Ivory, because they're very different types of backs. Ivory, that ground and pound guy, and Forte is obviously the receiving back. Last year in 2015 with the Bears, caught 44 balls for 389 yards. The year before that, 102 receptions, 808 yards, 3 touchdowns last year, 4 touchdowns the year before. He's had double-digit receiving touchdowns in the past 3 years. Now, he's no spring chicken, but it seems that Father Time has not caught up with him yet. He's only 30. He's got several years left, but obviously being a running back, that wear and tear on a player's body comes into effect and expresses itself more often sooner rather than later. Will they get an upgrade? That'll be one of the key stories to watch, especially in this division. Is Matt Forte going to be an upgrade over Chris Ivory? We have to take into account Todd Bowles and the entire offense. Which running back is going to be able to play better in that system? And to move on to the wide receiving, or to the wide receivers on the team, Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker were arguably the number one wide receiver duo. Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson were close up there, but considering the success of the team, Marshall and Decker were the top duo, the top wide receiver duo in the league last year. I still think that award could have gone to Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant, but stats don't lie. I mean, Brandon Marshall last year was closing in on 100 yards a game. He was at 94 yards a game at season's end. Caught 109 balls, 1,502 yards, 14 touchdowns last year. He is 32 years old, and he also reportedly lost 10 pounds as of late. He reported at training camp at 224 pounds. The Jets wanted to get under 230. Strong wide receiver 1 in fantasy this year. And then Eric Decker, who's only 29 himself, also broke 1,000 yards last year. The only other duo besides Hurns and Robinson to each break 1,000 yards. 80 catches, 1,027 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Decker didn't have too shabby of a year. But the guys I'm watching primarily are the tight ends in this situation. You got Kellen Davis, Jay Samaro, at least I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his last name. These are guys that need to get... And look, I liked Jay Samaro last year. Obviously did get hurt later in the season. I think I picked him up one week and in fantasy, and I think that was the week that he ended up getting hurt. Just my luck, right? Kellen Davis, looking to be the starter, age 30, but recently underwent surgery to repair a torn ulnar collateral ligament in his thumb and is going to miss training camp. He did play all 16 games last season, Kellen Davis did. Last year, Jason Merrow played 14 games, caught just 38 balls for 345 yards. and 2 touchdowns. Amaris, he struggled with drops last year. And according to the Jets, during training camp, he spent all summer working to perfect Brandon Marshall's catching technique. And that's it's a good player to try to mirror, to try to copy. So I think there's a good chance. Well, I think most of that's just noise. I still think there's a good chance we could see an improved Jason Mara this year, one worth considering in fantasy as well. But with all the hype, obviously, around Marshall and Decker, as usual, because they are the top talents on the team, can the tight ends get involved? Can they be at all explosive? Can they get open with coverage focused in on Decker and Marshall? Because that'll be a key to success for the New York Jets. And then, obviously, their defense. I considered giving the X factor to the defense here, just because I want to see what guys like Leonard Williams can do. The only guy on the team, by the way, under 25. Muhammad Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson are still there. They acquired Steve McClendon from the Steelers. The Jets did. They got David Harris. And Darrelle Revis is maybe starting to showcase a little bit of age. I'm just interested to see overall, because what appears to be a stacked defense, are they going to be able to hold up, support their team? Because defense does win championships, and in a case like the Jets, it very well may be that the key to championship success for the Jets will be lying the whole year in their defense. My X factor, however, for the Jets is the new guy on the block, Matt Forte. We'd have to see how he fits into the system. How can they integrate him and utilize him in possibly different ways than Chris Ivory? I mean, I know they're going to want to use him some of those same ways, but he's a different kind of back. So can they utilize him to the best of his abilities? And my record prediction for them, 9-7. 2 games back of the Patriots, who I think will finish 11-5 and win the division. The Jets will be fighting for a playoff spot, but they are just not going to get there. It won't be as heart-wrenching as last year, but they have a very tough schedule. The Jets do. They play the Bengals, the Steelers, obviously the Patriots twice. They play the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Right there, those are 6 games I see them losing. And I'm sure there's going to be another one in there that another team in there that they fall to as well. But we'll see how the Jets pan out. Like I said, don't think it'll be as heart-wrenching a finish as last year, but only time will tell in the end. It's been the New York Jets preview. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to check out the other episodes on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spreaker, like the page on Facebook, join the Google Plus community, NFL Talk with Caleb Steindale. We are at NFL with Caleb on Twitter. Check us out. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. This has been NFL Talk Team by Team Previews.